Well, hello everybody. I'm PT McBee,
And I'm youngsnipe.
and we're TNC Creations. We're playing Cloud 9 here. This is presented by the Feed the Beast team. Can be found on the Curse client. But we're doing just a little clip here. This is not really covering the mod pack at all, but we're going to take a little bit of look at this Project Red and how it kind of works. Now, I know it took me a bit to get used to it, and it was a very first real piping or anything that I ever used before. And it can be quite extensive. There's a lot that can be done with it. All you really need is your imagination. Now, this crafting pipe, we do believe that it actually has to have BuildCraft installed in order for it really to be useful. It can auto-cook your foods for you, but for that sort of thing, to hook it up to a furnace, you're much better off to just put your stuff in the furnace yourself.
Yes.
We have routed interface pipes. We have routed junction pipes. And we have these item transfer pipes or transport pipes. An item transport pipe is just that. All it does is transports items from A to B. These interface or junction pipes, are necessary to kind of keep the system in check. If you don't put these on, items might bounce around from place to place and not really know where to go. So wherever you have a junction, wherever
three or more.
Right. So wherever you've got pipes kind of joining and they're going to split off somewhere, you want to make sure you put a junction pipe. If you're ever in question of whether you need one or not, put one. You're better to have them than to not have them.
Yes, and for something that's just like a lot of interface pipes, it works just a bunch of interface pipes. You don't need junction pipes all over. But if you're going to attach a normal transport pipe, you need...
Can you actually get behind there, Young, to see what it is you're trying to show? I just kind of looked at your screen and I'm not really seeing what it is that you're trying to show there. I know what it is you're trying to show, but I can't see it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that's a little better view there, Young.
So basically here there's just a bunch of interface pipes connected to Jabba barrels. And they're all connected to each other and working.
Cool. Yes, and these shouldn't get confused at all. Now, you have broadcaster chips and you have responder chips. The responder chips work with another interface pipe. And it's not an interface pipe, it's actually a request pipe. And that's this one here. The request pipe itself, and I'm going to use this router. This is a router utility, and it's used for a few different things. This pipe here actually is made just for being able to request things from your storage.
So if I go into it, I can search marble just by typing here. Marble, for example, because I need a new marble cover. I can select how many I want. I can select all of them. Or I can just type in here how many I want. Then you just click the submit button after you've clicked what you want. And it should come through to that chest right here.
Okay, so let's just kind of reinstate this a little bit, Young, to how this works. Go back up to that request pipe for me, would you please?
Sure thing.
Okay, so in this chest, I've taken and put the router utility, but I've actually taken out the broadcast chip out of the back of the pipe.
So I search and I can't find it.
So the router utility is not showing up. Now, if I put that in, you should be able to see the router utility.
You need to click the re-poll button to look at everything again, and hey, it showed up.
Okay, now if I'm correct, this item responder chip, if I take that out, you might have to actually kind of go back into that interface, Young. Go out and then into it again. Now try to take that router out.
It says
it did take it out.
It did.
It did take it out. Okay, so maybe this is working with... let me see where we are on this line here. That could actually be for our extraction pipe. And that extraction pipe we can't see from here. it's in behind that wall there, right, Young?
Yes, right here.
Okay, so the extraction pipe here has got an extractor chip in it. And you can see that it says upgrades, LX, LY, RX, RY. You still have the router utility on you, Young?
I do not. It's in
I
that
got
chest.
it. Okay. So I'm just going to take this chip out of here. And, oops. Where did I go?
I got it.
You got it? Can you throw it to me, please?
Yep.
Okay, so if I right-click with my router utility, and I put this extractor chip in, it's got a chip in here, in the X and the Y, as well as this X and Y.
You can see because it's indicated as green on the side of it.
So, right. So what this is actually doing is giving us speed on this. It is extracting the items out of the chest that was here faster rate simply because we put those upgrades into there. And what you would do, I should be able to take these out. Nope, I can't. It doesn't appear that I can. But I think you got it again, Young.
Yep. Should I just install it?
Just put it in. So all of your chips start out with a null logic routing chip. I do believe they all start with that, correct?
They do, yes.
Okay. And then you build the rest of your chips off of that. Now, what's really interesting is you can start to get into chips like a stock keeper chip. Now, a stock keeper chip would be something, if I had this pipe running to, say, to the, I guess the magmatic dynamo wouldn't work. But if we had it running to this reactant dynamo, Young, would you bust this cobblestone out for me, please?
Which one?
This one on behind here. So if I had, instead of running this item duct to here, if I had a conduit going in from Project Red with the same interface pipe, I could put that chip in there, this item stock keeper in there, and I could say, okay, always keep 64 blaze powder inside this reactant dynamo. It would then search anything connected to its inventory. So if the pipe was here, it would search here for blaze powder, and it would make sure that there's always 64 kept inside of the reactant dynamo. It's a way that you can kind of keep things just kind of running smoothly. And if you were making a big powerhouse system, to kind of run all of this piping like this all the time could be a little bit of a challenge. Maybe what I'll do this series is actually work on a massive slime spawning power source. I don't think we need a lot of power in this mod pack, but it could be kind of fun to do. Just kind of set up some dynamos and a slime killer, and we'll try to get into showing what a lot of the real potential of what that Project Red can do. It's not as cheap as thermodynamics is, but it is really neat. It's very handy. I've never had any lag issues with it. But that's the basic rundown of Project Red piping and its chips. Can you think of anything we've left out on that, Young?
I cannot, no.
I know we kind of stumbled on that, the recording and our wording a little bit, but we kind of let it be known that we were going to kind of cover this in the last episode, actually the episode we just recorded.
Yep.
And we didn't. So we're probably going to rifle this out even before we get that episode up and just kind of try to cover a little bit of what we've just done here, just so people get a little bit better understanding, because Project Red just it's not understood enough, and it's a really, really handy system.
Yep.
So, everybody, I'm PT McBee.
And I'm Young Snipe.
Thanks for hanging out.
Bye, guys.